say that I'm interested in participants' math score. So I have this dependent variable of math score. So dv math score. Say that I wanted to look at the math score by gender. So gender is going to be my independent variable. It's going to, let's see, gender will have two levels. So this is my independent variable. It has two options, right? So male or female. So we're going with a dichotomous definition here. So we have an independent variable of gender, has two levels, male and female. We want to know how math score differs by gender. In this situation, I'm looking at one variable, two levels. I can do this test with an independent samples t-test, right? Because I have males, I have females, and I want to know the math score. Say, instead of this example, say I was interested in the effects of stress on math score. So here, instead of gender, I'm looking at math score by stress. And so here I'm going to create three conditions. So three stress conditions: a high stress condition, a medium stress condition, and a low stress condition. So maybe I have participants come into the lab. Some folks are told, you have 5 minutes to complete this test, and this will be 30% of your final grade, something like that. So a high stress condition. Medium stress, maybe I give them 20 minutes and it's 20% of their grade. Low stress condition, I say something like, take all the time you need, and this is only 5% of your grade or something. So here I'm inducing different levels of this stress variable in my participants, and I want to see how it influences our dependent variable, the math score. So last week we learned this kind of a test would be done with an analysis of variance, or an ANOVA. This week we're going to expand upon this ANOVA. So this is a one-way between subjects ANOVA. This week we're talking about a two-way between subjects ANOVA. So to do that, all we're going to do is add another independent variable. So I could add here gender. So here gender has how many levels? Two levels. So we have male and we have female. So here we're looking at math score. We want to see the effects of stress, but also the effects of gender here on their math score. So for that we need a two-way between subjects ANOVA. So this is one of the most complicated tests that we're going to talk about, and I'm not going to make you calculate this from scratch. You will be given an F table and you'll have to work that out, just like the ANOVA. You take the sum of squares and divide and all of those kinds of things, so you can handle that. But we're not going to calculate this stuff from scratch. So what you're going to get in these tests, so your dependent variable is math. You have a stress independent variable, you have a gender independent variable, and then you also have this stress by gender interaction. So when you calculate these out, you'll get an F statistic and a p-value, all of those stats for stress. You'll get the same thing for gender. You'll also get the same thing for stress by gender. So if your stress F statistic is statistically significant, you can say there is a main effect of stress. If your gender F and p-value are statistically significant, you would say there is a main effect of gender. Here for your stress and gender, if these are statistically significant, you would say that you have an interaction effect. So overall, a two-way between subjects ANOVA is exactly the same thing as the one-way. We're just making it a little bit more complicated by adding in more independent variables. So independent variable of stress, independent variable of gender, and then of course we have that interaction of stress by gender. You'll get F statistics and P's for each of these, and you'll interpret it in turn. So is there a main effect of stress? Is there a main effect of gender? Is there an interaction effect of stress by gender? So in the next part of this video, I'm going to talk more about main effects, more about interaction effects to help you interpret this. And then, of course, in our SPSS video, we'll look at some output, and I'll walk you through how to interpret that there.